Welcome to Comics Now, I'm Brian Warshaw, and today we are looking at another Dark Knight's Metal-inspired gallery statue from Diamond Select Toys. So, Dark Knight's Metal was an event at DC Comics last year, and yada yada yada, Batman, swords, armor, dragons, it was something. Wasn't my cup of tea, but a lot of people did enjoy it, and the imagery is just second to none. If you like seeing cool, imaginative Batman pictures, and other DC heroes as well, this is definitely something to look up and check out. One of the key features of the Metal event, though, is that Batman and his allies were under assault from, well, evil Batmen from the Dark Multiverse. So the Dark Multiverse is essentially a nightmare multiverse where people's worst fears become reality. And there are universes where Bruce Wayne essentially became some evil version of himself mingled with one of his allies. So he killed that ally, took on features of that ally. So the Batman Who Laughs, who's a very popular character right now, we've reviewed that statue as well. The Batman Who Laughs, very obviously, Batman sort of merged not with an ally, but with the Joker. So he killed the Joker. The Joker had something rigged up in his body, so he released Joker toxin when he died, and Batman became Jokerized, the Batman Who Laughs. But the rest of these evil Batmen in Metal were sort of mashups between Batman and his allies. And one of them was the Red Death. And you can kind of tell just by looking at him that he's mingled with the Flash. So Batman killed Barry Allen, and he somehow harnessed the Speed Force, and he became the Red Death. And so, there's not a whole lot to say about this statue because the appeal is very obvious when you look at it. I reviewed the comic book Flash statue recently, and I said that the pose was good from some angles, but not so much from others. Red Death doesn't have that problem. This looks good pretty much from any angle. And the pose, I think, even without whooshing water or air beneath it, it's a lot more dynamic looking. I just like the wider stance. I think the angle that he's clearly moving at there, the way he's got one leg extended, the other one bent, it's just a much more interesting pose to me. And even though this isn't my favorite character in the world, I think this is probably a better statue than that comic book Flash. There's a lot of great detail on the costume here, from the sort of lightning split bat logo on his chest. We've got these red lines along his abdominal area. And probably the cheapest looking detail is the Speed Force electricity with the bats here. It's okay. I don't know. It looks kind of like fruit roll-ups or something like that kind of material. It's not super impressive, but the rocky material on which he stands, that is definitely a bit better on the base. And the paint work on here is actually really, really good. Paint is the thing that you always notice on these Diamond Gallery pieces, where you can kind of see where that much more affordable price point comes into play. But the paint here is pretty darn good. I really like the color on his suit. I really like the variation in color on his suit, where the red is kind of messed with a little bit of black just to give some dimension to what we're looking at here. It's a really great looking suit. It's a really great looking statue. If you were a fan of Metal, if you were a fan of this character in particular, and I know a lot of folks were, then this would be a great addition to your collection, especially if you already have the Batman Who Laughs and if you're planning on getting the rest of the line. Anyway, I'll let you make that decision for yourself. Let us know in the comments what you do decide. Until next time, I'm Brian Warshaw.